What you mean to me. What you mean to me. But does this work? Only 'cause we're not the same. Hello, hello. Folks, a minute or so to log on here. So to speak, got me on delay, 'cause across a million seas, we just do that for me. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and get started. So this is our nice, gentle stretch today. We're also going to incorporate a little bit of breathing work. The reason why we're going to do a little bit of the breathing today is, it's I find it really relaxing, which we can all use. And secondly, I think it makes the practice of stretching a lot more effective if you can kind of coordinate the movements you're doing with your breath. Those of you who practice yoga, you already know this. But for those of you who don't, yeah, we're going to incorporate a little bit of the breathing into our stretching today. So I have allowed my furry associates to be in the room today. They have promised they will not be distractions. So let's hope that they hold to it. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Just make yourself comfortable. We're going to go ahead and start on our feet for a couple of nice deep breaths, and then we'll move down to the mat. If you have blocks or, you know, a couple thick books, something like that that you want to use today, have those handy. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. Starting up here, feet nice and wide, wider than hip width, wider than shoulder width. We're going to just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and blow it out through the mouth. Again, all the way up, in through the nose, out through the mouth, up. One more time, take it all the way up, breathe in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Go ahead, feet nice and wide, toes pointed out to those 45s, arms straight out. You can go palms down, palms up, whatever's comfortable for you. I want you to just go ahead and reach to that right side like something is pulling you. Stay here for a couple of breaths. All right, move to the other side again. My toes are still facing kind of out to those 45. Reaching this time to the left side. All right, this time when we go to the right, I want you to go ahead. You can see my feet. Take that front foot, point it to the right, and bend that knee. There we go. So we're still reaching with that right arm. This time we're bending that right knee. Go ahead, take that right elbow down to right knee, and lift the left arm up overhead, reaching it to the right. So you should feel a nice stretch all the way down that left side. Continue those deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. Go ahead, switch that to the left side. So right foot is forward, left foot faces to the wall. Both arms straight out. It just keeps driving me crazy. I'm trying to figure out how could we be closer. All right, go ahead, take that left elbow to left knee. Reach that right arm up and over, reaching to the left side. Nice stretch all the way down the right side. Continuing those deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, let's come back to center. Both of those feet facing forward or out to the 45. Just a little knee bend side to side. Nice and gentle. All right. In that nice wide leg position, I want you to start to bend those knees. We're going into a nice little squat position here. Knees bent, feet are facing out. I'm going to start to lower my chest forward, reaching my hands towards the ground. Now, you can choose if you want to use these blocks, and you can reach your hands towards those blocks. So this is useful for those of you who are a little less flexible and you can't reach all the way to the ground. Go ahead, bend those knees and reach towards the blocks. Let your hands rest on the blocks. But if you can reach all the way to the ground, go ahead and place your hands on the ground. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths here with those knees bent. Try and keep that back flat. You can let your gaze drop down to the ground. Just keep that nice neutral spine. All right, we're gonna take these breaths. When you inhale, I want you to press up, stretch those legs, keep those knees nice and straight. And when you exhale, sit back down. So these are nice, slow, deep breaths, so we're not going up and down really fast. We're taking an inhale up, and exhale. Bending those knees. Nice job. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Bending the knees. Couple more times. Take it in. And exhale. Again, up. And exhale. 4 more deep breaths here at your own pace. Continue keeping it with that inhale and the exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Last one. All right, you finished with those knees bent. Go ahead, slowly roll yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time into that standing position. Bring those feet together. Shake ourselves out a little bit. All right. That blocks out of the way here for a minute. Once again, feet nice and wide. Take those hands. We want to interlace those fingers. Press all the way up and slowly bend over to that right side. Two more deep breaths here. And to the left side. Nice deep breaths. Nice. Go ahead. Let those arms down. Shake everything out. Go ahead and step to the back of your mat or your towel, whatever it is that you're using. Have those blocks nearby in case you want to use them. That's totally up to you. Feet are hip width apart. Nice deep breath. Take it all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. So once again, we're bringing those hands down to the center. It's up to you, again, as to how flexible those hamstrings are feeling today. If you can bring those hands down center, that's great. Otherwise, if you want to rest them on those shins or if you want to rest them on the thighs, that's up to you, depending on how you're feeling today. But let's go ahead, wherever you are, and let's pedal a little bit. So we want to keep those heels flat on the ground. But we're going to bend one leg at a time, just letting ourselves have a nice, gentle hamstring stretch. And remember, we're continuing that breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more nice deep breath here. All right, go ahead, get those legs straight again and allow yourself to walk out into a plank position. Now, two options here. You can stay in an upright plank position, or you can drop those knees down if it's more comfortable for you. But we're just going to do a couple little rocks back and forth. So we're going to press up, think about kicking up through those toes, and then pressing down into your heels. Coming up, and then down, up, and then down. So working a little bit of core strength right here. Some mobility in our wrists and in our ankles, as well as if you're really pushing through those heels, you're going to feel a stretch in those calf muscles. Two more. All right, go ahead, drop those knees down and come to a seated position facing forward. All right, so this is where we're going to talk about that breath a little bit more. Turn our volume down here just a tad, so make sure you can hear me. All right, so what I want you to go ahead and start with, I want you to place one hand up high on your chest. So if you're wearing a shirt with a neck in it like mine, my hand is right at the bottom of that neck. It doesn't matter which hand is which. Take your other hand. I want you to think about placing that thumb right at the bottom of your sternum. So this bone that comes right here through the middle. Think about putting that thumb right there so that this hand is right at the bottom of those lungs, kind of closer to the diaphragm. Now I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to notice which hand raises and falls with those inhales and exhales. So let's take about 3 or 4 nice deep breaths here. And just listen to your body and see how it's feeling naturally. So take that breath in. All right. So think about that top hand versus that bottom hand. When you inhaled, which hand seemed to expand, like the air was coming in? And then when you exhaled, where did those hands contract, like you were squeezing the air out? Now, a lot of people will notice that when they inhale, it feels like that upper chest is expanding. And sometimes that lower hand might feel like it's coming in because you're kind of breathing up here. And then when you exhale, it kind of feels like that chest lowers and that lower hand comes out. I want you guys to think about how you can breathe deeply down into those lungs so it actually makes that bottom hand lift when you're inhaling. So we're not doing those shallow inhales, but that deep breath is really filling up all the lungs, and it's actually bringing that bottom hand out to where our lungs are expanding and our chest is really filling with air. So think about breathing in nice and deep. And then when you exhale, that diaphragm should contract, and we're trying to push all the air up and out of those lungs. So a couple of deep breaths, thinking about filling the lungs all the way to the bottom. And as we exhale, really squeezing that diaphragm to push all of the air out of our lungs. Couple more nice deep breaths here like this. I can't escape. Watch the flame. It got us both in this now for time. I'm afraid. Beautiful. One more time. Take it in. Hold me and don't ever leave. You're the only good in me when I lose it. Beautiful. So you'll notice it really does feel different. It takes a little bit of practice to really learn to breathe deeply into those lungs, filling up the whole lungs, and then squeezing that diaphragm to get all of that air out. So we are really circulating all of our air in and out, all of our air in and out each time we breathe. All right, so a couple more little stretches here. I want you to go ahead. I'm going to turn to the side. You can continue to face me, but I'm going to turn to the side to make sure everybody can see me, all right? So those feet are out forward in a nice plank pose. Feet are straight out. Breathe in. Nice deep breath. Filling up those lungs. And as we lower, exhale. Reaching into that stretch. Now, another thing to think about while you're stretching. So go ahead and keep stretching. Just listen to me as you're stretching. I want you to think about as you inhale, we're filling up those lungs and we're directing all that fresh air to those muscles that are stretching. So right here in this pike stretch, we are going to be feeling that in those glutes, in those hamstrings, in the back of the knees. So think about when you take that nice deep inhale. Just imagine it. Close your eyes and imagine that air going straight to those muscles, giving those muscles a breath of fresh air. And as we exhale, allow yourself to relax just a tiny, tiny bit deeper into that stretch, even if it's just a centimeter deeper. And even if it's just in your mind that you're relaxing deeper into that stretch, it's going to do a lot for that body. So a couple of deep breaths here in our pike stretch. Okay, nice deep breath. Air is going to our muscles that are stretching, and as we exhale, allowing ourselves to relax into the stretch. Couple more deep breaths in. And exhale. Beautiful. One more time here. Inhale. And exhale. As we relax into that stretch. Beautiful. Go ahead. Allow yourself to sit back up. And bring the bottoms of those feet together in our butterfly hip opener stretch. So I want you guys to think about this in the same way, right? Again, remember this butterfly stretch, we don't push those knees down. We lean our upper body forward, keeping a nice straight line between those shoulders and those hips. We lean our upper body forward and let the weight and force of our upper body open those hips naturally in a way that's comfortable and that we're not overextending those muscles, all right? So I want you to close your eyes and practice that breathing. So inhale, imagine that air going to those hip flexors, going to those thighs, even to that lower back for some of us. And exhale, allowing ourselves to inch just a little bit deeper into the stretch. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, that air is going straight to the muscles, and breathe out. Tiny bit further into the stretch as our body is relaxing, feeling comfortable in the stretch. Couple more of those deep breaths at your own pace, but imagining that air going straight to the muscles. And then as we relax, as we expel all of that air. I can't stop, this feeling's taking over me. One more nice deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead, sit yourself all the way up. Let's come back to center. Cross those legs. Hands on your knees. Really relax those shoulders down. Start with the right shoulder, and we're going to roll them back nice and slow. So think about lifting that shoulder all the way up to the ear and then pushing it to the back wall. Push. And then the opposite shoulder comes up to the ear and then rotates to that back wall. So we're rolling those shoulders back really slowly, deliberately, feeling those shoulders roll back. Now let's go ahead, let's put those arms straight out to the side and continue that shoulder roll. But as you put those arms out, you might feel that stretch in that roll, especially as you push the shoulder back to the back wall. It's gonna feel that stretch just a little bit more into that upper and middle back. Beautiful. Continue right and then left. Couple more times. Continue that nice deep breathing. Hey, this is not relaxing. One more time, right and left. Go ahead, put those hands back on those knees. Hey, stop. That's enough. Stop. Sorry. Again, we're all stuck at home together, so we know what it's like when animals and kids start to get a little bit tired of seeing each other's faces. All right, hands back on those knees. Starting with the right shoulder. This time we're bringing it forward. So up towards the ear and then pushing it forward towards me, towards your screen. Start, yes, shoulders nice and gentle. Forward. Nice deep breaths are continuing. This is half stretch, half mobility here with these shoulders. We're really trying to increase our range of motion. That's always our goal whenever we're stretching, we're working on our flexibility, our mobility. We want to increase our range of motion, meaning that we can move better as we're doing our day-to-day activities, and it's more comfortable as we're moving and doing these everyday activities. Go ahead, bring those arms out again with the right. Continue bringing that shoulder up towards the ear and then pressing forward towards the screen. And with those arms out, you're going to feel this coming down a little bit more down the side into those obliques. And you're also going to feel it in those upper arms. You're going to feel it in those biceps when you press forward towards me. Yes, you're even going to feel it a little bit in that chest. It's great. Again, when we're stretching, increasing range of motion, it's not just the specific joint, it's all the muscles around the joint, right? All the connective tissue needs to work together. One more time on each side. Nice deep breath, right and left. All right. Woo, shake them out. Go ahead, drop those hands down. Shake out those arms, shake out those hips, shake out that neck, whatever else you need to do to feel comfortable. Thank you so much for joining me today for a little bit of stretch and breath work. Hope this is useful. Hope that this breath work is something you can incorporate anytime you're stretching, anytime you're working to even just relax yourself, and hope that breath work helps this become more effective and feel more fulfilling to you and a little bit more relaxing. Again, thank you for joining me. If you're familiar with my schedule, next week the schedule is going to be the exact same as it was this week. Monday evening, we've got bar fusion and an advanced stretch right here. Bar starts at 5:15, advanced stretch at 6:20 p.m. These are all Eastern times. Wednesday, a 30-minute express bar fusion class, again, 5:15 right here on YouTube. Thursday's cardio hip hop class, 45 minutes, starts at 5:30, and that's going to be on Zoom. So you check out my Facebook page or the NIFS Facebook page, or either mine or the NIFS Instagram pages for that link. And then Friday, we'll be right back here at noon for a nice, gentle stretch, full body stretch. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and enjoy your weekend.